So my experience in the games industry is a little dated, but I don't know. There's the part of me that doubts things have changed substantially, but it was quite interesting to go from something that I did as a pastime or free time or something that I'd been enjoying as just like a passion or a hobby or whatever word you wanted to use, and then going and actually working at a company that made the things that I would buy and play, and being able to be a part of that experience and being able to like know that like I contributed to the overall final product that would then be in front of other people is a very interesting and yeah, it's an interesting experience to know that like you're a part of the process of something that is like a thing that people enjoy and use in their free time or like to relax, and like you can like take pride in the um the creation of that and being a part of the creation of that, like being able to like submit your input and have it for like, especially when it's like enhancements and stuff, because like the game may not have had that thing without your suggestion, and maybe it would eventually, or maybe somebody else could have come up with it, maybe, but like you were a part of that process, and like that's something that especially being in like QA, like you're not like the person making it, but you are a part of it and a contributor to the overall process. So you can still take pride in like your impact on it, or even just like the collective impact of like working together to make a thing. And yeah, overall the games industry from a QA perspective was different from the various places that I worked at. Like some places were they wanted it felt as though they wanted just numbers, like they wanted number of people exposed to a thing, sort of like effectively beta testing, like just get people there and give us feedback to see if like anything's really broken. um Outside of that, then it's like other ones were much more structured and took more of like a like structured software development um life cycle mindset to the thing, and like we're very organized. And then other places were some uh mix of both, or they were very much like creative first, and like let's really just like make sure that this is fun and like enjoyable, and like however we can make it more fun and more enjoyable, as long as it's not um a huge undertaking, like being able to be receptive to that and contribute to it. Like it's just a really enjoyable experience to be a part of that whole process. Um, but yeah, being a QA on in the games industry can feel all sorts of ways because it's like you can be at smaller companies where you're just like one of the other people working on this thing and you're all sort of at that same level, or you can work at like a much larger establishment company that QA is sort of just like the last bit of stuff that needs to be done. Um, and like, yeah, those are gonna elicit different feelings out of people depending on your involvement and or what value is what value the company sees in your contributions, but it's just an interesting experience to be in like a creative field or creative industry and just this like this other piece of it that isn't like explicitly creating the thing but is a part of it. It's just a very interesting feeling to be a part of that whole process. And it's something I definitely personally I think about it, probably not daily, but every month or so I think back about being in the games industry. I mean, I've even attempted uh building my own games off the random thoughts or ideas, game mechanics that I've thought might be fun just to try out and see what it looks like. But it's being able to see that vision come to light and then see its reception when it gets released and like knowing that you are a part of that process and people enjoyed it and seeing people chat about it online and whatnot. It's like it's fun. It's enjoyable. The pay can be a little not as desirable, but in terms of the being a part of that process, you can really enjoy it and it can be pretty what's the word? Pretty fulfilling and yeah, I mean if you have an opportunity, try it out as long as you're not like needing a certain amount of money. Like but I mean obviously that's the none of this is talking specifically about like the existing game industry because there's all sorts of stuff going on with that. But the game industry can be a lot of fun, but it can also be really tough, especially because it deals with like passions and like the creative fields and all of that can throw a lot of other things into the mix and that can cause all sorts of troubles for certain people.